The Serenitea pot system was released in 1.5, and with its announcement came great excitement and hype. Players were getting their own houses to which decorate and design multiple rooms and living areas within the house using different furniture and objects which they had crafted from gathering different materials throughout the whole world of Teyvat. On top of this, players were getting to choose their own realm out of 3, the Emerald Peaks, the Cool Isle, and the Floating Abode, in which their house would reside, and the ability to decorate the realm itself, which the houses resided in. But what we received was nothing short of a makeshift housing system with a facade saying players had creative control, to which they didn't. I personally have played and been using the Serenitea pod system since its release at the start of 1.5 and achieved 20,000 Adeptal energy very early on and got to level 10 as soon as it was possible. And I can say that it was a very nice and enjoyable experience for the first 1 to 2 weeks, but it was just around to just after the 2-week mark, players including myself were capping their load limit and being unable to place any more furnishings in certain areas. Furnishings in the Serenitea pod system each have a cost. Different ones have different costs, varying from 30, 60 and 90. These numbers indicate how much Adeptal energy you will gain from placing them. What this system fails at telling the player is how much of the load limit it consumes. The only load indicator is the small circle that changes colour from green to orange to red. Green meaning you have a lot of load limit left, orange meaning you're just past the halfway point, and red meaning you have used up your whole load limit. What you have been watching is a time lapse of me placing items I will later use to create a small cohesive courtyard consisting of a bunch of walls, the main building, some plants and an animal, using as many as I can to reach the load limit. This would show just how low the load limit is for the amount of area you are given per zone in the realms. The total coverage of all of the items is at most 40% of the total area, and for the load limit to be reached with that low of total coverage, to me is just unreasonable. My only hypothesis as to why it is like this is because each item works in regards to their number values of 30, 60 and 90, instead of how much area / pixels they consume. For example, currently you would at most be able to place 6 to 10 animals in the area before you reach the load limit, regardless of size, but you will most likely easily be able to place 80 to 120 plus scarecrows in one area, and again, I believe this is just unreasonable. Using only the items you saw me place, I tried to make a build that looks pleasing to the eye, but also has a theme. This is my attempt at building a household that has a backyard with some trees, a well and an animal, a courtyard area with a blacksmith and an alchemy station, some seating areas to the side, and a main entrance. All built within a nice set of walls. Enjoy. final product. I'm not an exterior designer or have much artistic talent, but I do feel I have enough competence to come to the conclusion that this build just looks barren. A deserted house, abandoned. There's not much going on in the entrance. The only thing that gets the idea across of an entrance is the fact that it's a door, and the courtyard having absolutely nothing there, giving this idea of a barren wasteland. And the backyard is minimalistic. The only thing that gives the aesthetic of a backyard is that it's near the back of the house. The seating area, while it does its job, it doesn't get the aesthetic or the idea of a calm seating area shaded by the trees where you can take a minute to soak in the scenery. And this is the max I could achieve, only taking up 40% of the total allocated area, all due to the lack of load that the players are given. I may be insane and delusional, but this is just unreasonable. When in the open world part of the game you have bustling cities like the Liyue Harbour, crowded with people, lights, walkways, flora and fauna, and flowing water and more. Overall, to me this is a minor letdown, and don't see why it was implemented like this, as you can barely build anything that resembles a city or a well-designed area using the whole of the allocated area. I guess to conclude this, I can just say, I'm disappointed.